It's giving me the error like it's open, the camera's open in another application, but it's not. So I probably have to do a restart of the computer, but I'm not going to do that now because it's just, would be ridiculous to do that now. So let me just hopefully find the live stream here. I don't know where my other live stream, where did it go? YouTube, where are you? Okay, ouch. Here we are. Hi, Debbie D. 15 others. Okay, let's, we're going to talk about Diddy Combs. He actually kicked off his shoes while lawyers were hammering out details for what's coming next, which is going to be the closing arguments and then the jury instructions, and then it's going to be in the jury's hands. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about a man who murdered his ex-wife at the gravesite of their son on the 20th anniversary of his burial. And then, of course, the bodybuilder influencer threatened Joe Rogan, now is facing charges. Again, this can be something that is finally, again, bullying, threats. Online bullies are really upset. As I was saying in the end of the other live, you think that a normal person would be, oh my gosh, right, and have a turnaround and a change of heart. No, not the majority of these people. The majority of these people, as sick as it is, are actually happy. They feel they have power. They could drive someone to that, and it just fuels it that they're going to do it to someone else and someone else until the law decides to keep them accountable for what they're, and that's where we're going. We're going with that because it's ridiculous. But that's what I'm telling you. They don't even think that they're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? You'll take a perusal around the internet and you'll see just how disgusting people like that are. Okay. Let me go to, we're going to do Combs first because we're going to get him out of the way. It's not. Okay, so for Diddy, we're looking that the jury probably is going to begin to deliberate, saying the 30th of June. Today's the 26th, Thursday, 27th. So the 30th is Monday. I thought the July 1st, the 30th is Monday. They said Friday before, now they're saying Monday. I swear they like to keep it so that like we're on a cliffhanger on a weekend. It certainly seems like they run the courtroom like TV, right? Prosecutors indicated they are not pursuing several allegations against Sean Combs that pertain to the racketeering charge just days before closing arguments are set to begin. Prosecution indicated in a letter to the judge that was filed Tuesday that the theories of attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking will not be pursued. Prosecution understands the court's desires for streamlined instructions. With that in mind, the prosecution has suggested ways to streamline those instructions. Specifically, they removed instructions from the charge relating to attempted kidnapping under both California and New York law, attempted arson under California law, aiding and abetting sex trafficking. The government is no longer planning to proceed on those theories of liability, so instructions are no longer necessary. Prosecution's move comes as the government works to simplify the charges against Diddy for the jury. Federal prosecutor Niyama Ramani said there are no charges being dropped. The prosecution's legal theories are essentially the same. The government is no longer pursuing the attempted kidnapping and attempted arson as predicate acts for racketeering, but they can still argue that the completed kidnapping of Cassie Ventura and Capricorn Clark are completed arson of Kid Cudi's vehicle are RICO acts. The same applies to sex trafficking counts. The government is arguing that Sean sex trafficked the victims now, not that he aided and abetted others to do so. They're simplifying charges for the jury. Doesn't really change anything, is what they say. Sean's defense already planned to invoke the Iran conflict during closing arguments. The government seemingly objected to the strategy after court Tuesday. What? Hold on a second here. What is this guy doing? I mean, I want to just make sure that we are, before I sit here, and I want to just make sure that you can hear me. You'll see good. Just how disgusting people like that are. Okay. Hi, Victoria. We missed you last night. How are you? All right. So given that the attorneys who will be giving summations won't be here tomorrow, I wanted to put something on the record that I hope will not be necessary, but my hope is that we don't have to object during defense summation. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey said, I really don't want to do that, so I just want to put it on the record, and we think it would be objectionable and crossing a line for any summation to bring up politics or current events or the propriety of the prosecution and the use of government resources. I would hope that Mr. Agnifilo would not cross over those lines, but I just want to say that if he did, I would object in the middle of his summation and ask that the court instruct the jury to disregard the comments like that. So I just want the state to state that in advance of summation and the hope that it's not necessary. Prosecution noted the issue had been brought up in one of the government's motions in limine. I believe at that time that there was an agreement by the defense not to engage in any of that type of argument. Judge Zamaranian said, but Mr. Agnifilo, anything to worry about here? Nothing to worry about, Judge, Agnifilo said. Both prosecution and Sean's defense wrapped up their respective cases on Tuesday. After 6 weeks of testimony in this trial, defense did not call any witnesses. Instead, they presented evidence they claim proves inconsistent statements were made during the trial. Well, there were. Sean's defense team immediately moved for a judgment of acquittal. That's so commonplace. That's how you do. Before resting their case, attorney Alexandra Shapiro argued the government failed to prove the counts against Sean. There's at best thin proof any of the other employees participated, Shapiro said, before noting that there is no evidence any of them believed he was sex trafficking. And, of course, that was denied, and they finalized their jury instructions Wednesday. Closing arguments will likely take the entirety of Thursday into Friday. So we'll see how it goes, but we'll be watching, right? Okay. Next, hang on here. Okay. let me get this. So we're going to look at the cemetery murder. This happened at the cemetery where a couple's son was buried exactly 20 years earlier. Let's put that there now. Martin Suter, said he was guilty of killing his wife, Anne Blackwood, in 2023 at the cemetery where their son, who died at the age of 16, was buried. The British man pled guilty to murdering his ex-wife at the cemetery where their son had been buried exactly 20 years earlier. Martin Suter pled guilty last year to murdering his ex-wife on July 24th, 2023. And a judge recently lifted a reporting restriction on the case. The couple's 16-year-old son, Christopher, had been buried there after his death in 2003, 20 years to the day of his mother's murder. His mother was murdered 20 years to the day after her son died. It's interesting that they can't even get things right here. So, let's see here. Suter was arrested and charged just days after Blackwood was killed. According to local police, Blackwood's family said in a statement that her daughter, brothers, and friends were absolutely devastated by her death. A loving, kind, caring, kind-hearted mother and friend who was very popular in the local community. She was enjoying her retirement with an active lifestyle which included tennis, sailing, cycling, and music. She was 71 years old when she was murdered. She was pronounced dead at the scene after her ex-husband attacked her in the Crofton Cemetery. The neighborhood where the cemetery is located is widely regarded as one with very little crime. You never expect anything so horrific to happen so close to home, especially in such a friendly community. Suter was a former local politician, a member of the Green Party, and ran for council election on 3 separate occasions. No idea why he killed her at the gravesite. I don't know. Strange, right? Okay, and then I want to show you this. Look at this. Don't open the door if you see this. That's your door. Don't open the door for these guys. You might think they look innocent and everything. That's actually a male. Not, you might think that was a female and her chick. No. That's a male cassowary and a cassowary chick. And they followed a mother and child on May 9th. And that was in Australia. And authorities urge people not to feed or interact with these cassowaries, which have been known to kill humans. Australia, where birds kill humans. Yeah. A mother and her child had a close call with a dangerous bird, and their narrow escape was caught on security cameras. Nearly a month after the close encounter in Australia, the Queensland Department of the Environment, Tourism, Science and Innovation released the footage as a warning about the feathery fiend behind it. The cassowary often referred to as the world's most dangerous bird. And that's from the WWF, the Worldwide Fund for Nature. The cassowary should not be fed or approached. They look kind of innocent there, right? Like, oh, hey, what's going on? You guys want some corn or something? No, they'll kill you. In the surveillance footage, the mother and a child walk up to a door in Mission Beach on May 9th. The child picks up his pace to run after spotting two cassowaries behind them. The mother, who's walking ahead of her child, notices the birds and holds the door open for the child as he runs inside. The two cassowaries follow closely behind but don't make it in. The birds slow down after realizing the humans had made it inside, but they still approach the now closed door. And here's a picture where you can see them chasing this. Hold on, let me make this smaller. You see the child? You see the birds running here? She's like, get in there, get in there. Okay. The birds, one tall and one much smaller, were a habituated male cassowary and his chick. The Queensland Department said that they were approaching a home in hopes of being fed. The hope is generated by human interference, which is why authorities are urging people to avoid unlawfully feeding wildlife, particularly cassowaries. Commonly found in the wet tropics of Queensland, cassowaries can be fearsome to encounter. According to a press release from the Queensland authorities, these flightless birds can inflict serious injuries to people and pets by kicking out with their large clawed feet. To draw comparisons to an iconic horror villain, they're most active at twilight, and they have a claw that rivals Freddy Krueger's. They are one of few bird species that have killed humans, and the birds can reach heights of 4 to 5'6" in height. Feeding the birds often alters their behavior and makes them more daring around humans, which has led to multiple cassowary run-ins like the filmed incident with the mother and child. The incident is one of several cassowary interactions in the area which are linked to unlawful feeding. A wildlife ranger, Jeff Lewis, said thankfully the mother and child were able to get inside to safety, but it's an important reminder not to interfere with wildlife. Another cassowary incident in April saw one of the birds approach a Queensland man in his 70s and kick him in the leg. The man was treated for the cut to his leg and was lucky the injuries weren't worse. Incidents like these are stark examples of the dangers of feeding the birds. They look like, when you see the comb on this guy, they look like a dinosaur. Pterodactyl. And this guy looks so nice, right? You think, oh, they're so nice. Let me get you a little something. No. Local wildlife rangers have been warning people of the risks, installing signs, and providing education. But the unlawful feeding persists. When cassowaries associate humans with food, they become impatient and aggressive, particularly when accompanied by chicks. People should never approach cassowaries, especially not chicks, as the male cassowaries will defend them. People living in areas populated by these birds should also slow down when driving, but not stop to look at the birds if they're on the road. Don't look at them. Look straight ahead, guys. Dogs living near their habitats should also be leashed or kept behind a fence. Sorry. So crazy. Okay, and then let's go to, before we do that, we're going to do an update on Bryan Kohberger and the Idaho 4. There. So a woman claims she made a DoorDash delivery to the off-campus home where 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death, and that she saw Bryan Kohberger. "I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan. I parked right next to him," the woman said while being detained by police in an unrelated incident September 4th of 2024. The trial for Kohberger starts on August 11th. He is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. A DoorDash driver told police that she saw Bryan Kohberger on the night he was accused of killing the 4 college students, and that she will be testifying at his upcoming trial. Those statements were made by her September 4th of 2024 when she was taken into custody by officers with the Pullman Police Department following a traffic stop that is unrelated to the case. Body camera footage obtained by People shows the woman telling the officer booking her into jail, "I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Bryan. I parked right next to him." Just prior to that, she told the officer, "Now I have to testify in a big murder case too." When the officer asked her what murder case she was referring to, she responded, "The murder case of the college girls." Prosecutors and police could neither confirm nor deny the woman's claims due to a non-dissemination order barring extrajudicial statements about the case. However, the woman shares the same initials as the DoorDash driver, referred to as MM in court filings. She is one of only 2 people believed to have seen Bryan Kohberger near the scene of the murders, with the other being the surviving roommate who told police she watched him leave the home that night. The DoorDash driver arrived at 4 a.m. at the house with a delivery from Jack in the box for Xana Kernodle. Authorities believe that the killer entered the home just a few minutes later and by 4:20 had left the home after fatally stabbing the 4 students. Kernodle and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin, both 20, and Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan, both 21, were killed. The probable cause affidavit says the authorities linked Kohberger to the killings through the DNA allegedly found on a knife sheath that was left at the scene of the crime. Cell phone location data and surveillance footage showing a car matching his make and model driving to and from the scene. Okay, there is that new docu-series we talked about. Watch that. I have to watch that. Okay. Next. Next up, we have the Joe Rogan. Picture, please. There we go. So, police say that a social media fitness influencer, Brian Johnson, also known as Liver King, threatened Joe Rogan in a series of Instagram videos challenging him to a fight. The influencer, known for promoting a raw meat diet and a recent steroid scandal, was arrested after traveling to Rogan's home city of Austin. Johnson was arrested on Tuesday and faces a misdemeanor charge of making a terroristic threat. See, I love that, right? I love that. He made a threat, traveled there, they arrest him. The raw meat-eating, self-styled fitness influencer known as Liver King had been arrested after allegedly challenging Joe Rogan to a fight in an unhinged Instagram rant. that they say constituted a terroristic threat. Brian Johnson, 47, known as Liver King on social media, faces one charge of making a terroristic threat and was booked into the Travis County Jail on Tuesday. The influencer donned a wolf pelt, took to Instagram on Monday where he challenged the Texas-based podcaster to an honorable fight. Joe Rogan, I'm calling you out. My name's Liver King, Johnson said. Man to man, I'm picking a fight with you. I have no training in jiu-jitsu. You're a black belt. You should dismantle me. But I'm picking a fight with you. I'll come to you whenever you're ready. An Austin police spokesperson said that the department was notified of the threats and they found out that Johnson was traveling to Rogan's home city of Austin. Detectives contacted Mr. Rogan, who stated he had never had any interaction with Johnson and considered the posts to be threatening. Isn't that interesting? The spokesperson said that the officers obtained an arrest warrant, located Johnson at the Four Seasons Hotel, and took him into custody at approximately 5:59 p.m. Footage posted to Johnson's own Instagram profile on Tuesday shows the hulking, tactile, vest-clad bodybuilder being cuffed and placed in the back of a patrol car as his wife, Bozena Barbara Johnson, looks on. Rogan has never hosted Johnson on his show, but has called out the influencer for his steroid use on the podcast. Johnson built a fitness empire reportedly worth $100 million with claims that he achieved his impressive physique with an ancestral diet including animal organs, fertilized chicken eggs, and even raw bull testicles, and an intense exercise regime with just a few supplements. And hey, get over there. Get back there. Get back there, Jack. Come on. Okay. Rogan has never hosted him on the podcast. Personal emails leaked at the tail end of 2022 revealed that the Liver King had been injecting steroids and human growth hormones to the tune of $11,000 per month. That's according to Time Magazine, Rolling Stone, and Bloomberg. Despite an apology video posted to his YouTube, Johnson and his company, Ancestral Supplements LLC, were hit with multiple class action lawsuits, claiming that he used deceptive marketing and promoted harmful behavior to sell his product. Crazy there. All right, let's see now. Something I want to do. What happened here? Is this? No. Hold on a second here. Oh, same day. Uh-oh. What's this about? (2023) Okay, never mind. That was just fear-mongering what I just saw. I'm not even going to fear-monger anybody about anything. It's ridiculous fear-mongering. What is this about? Is this for real? What? LeAnn Rimes? Oh my gosh. What happened to her? She looks so frail. I wonder if she's on the Ozempic. It said her teeth fell out. Her teeth fell out during a concert? She abruptly left the stage mid-performance at a recent show in Washington when her front dental bridge unexpectedly fell out. The incident occurred while she was singing her 1996 hit One Way Ticket at the Skagit Casino Resort. Promptly, the flustered singer rushed off stage to address the situation. "I feel something pop in my mouth," she said following the show when she posted to Instagram. And if you've been around, you know I've had a lot of dental surgeries and I have a bridge in the front and it fell out in the middle of my song. Rather than cancel the show, the 42-year-old performer made a swift recovery, rejoining her band on stage and finished the set while discreetly attempting to push her bridge back into place between lines. I literally was like this, pushing my teeth in, she said, demonstrating. "Can't fight the moonlight. The teeth completely fell in my mouth." Despite the unexpected interruption, Rimes took the moment in stride, calling it the most epic experience ever. "There wasn't an effing thing I could do about it except either walk off or just hold my teeth in and sing, so I just ran with it. The show can go on even in the midst of sheer utter embarrassment. You've just got to be real with people." Rimes, who has long been open about her dental struggles, including a history of botched dental work that required 29 surgeries, previously filed a malpractice lawsuit in 2013 against a former dentist, citing chronic pain and complications from failed veneers. In her Instagram update, she jokingly warned the front row of the evening's second show at the same venue to be on alert. "If you catch them, please return them." As of now, she says her teeth are in for now, adding that the whole ordeal was an unforgettable reminder that anything can happen live, and the only option is to power through with humor and honesty. That's right. But she looks like very gaunt, doesn't she? I wonder if she's taking that stuff. Oh, did you hear that lifeguard that got impaled by a beach umbrella? She's okay. She had to have surgery for that. Oh, every time I hear that about beach umbrellas, she fell off like the lifeguard stand or something and onto the umbrella. Ugh. So the record-breaking New York City heat wave that has 3 days of large-scale power outages is nearing its end as a storm approaches, bringing down the temperatures, which have hovered around daily peaks of 100 since Monday. Dangerously hot temperatures and humidity remained in New York City on Wednesday, with a high of 96. Let's see here. Being struck by lightning is no joke. No, it's not, right? And did you hear me say 150 people were brought to the emergency room and beyond, like, because of they were at a New Jersey graduation and they were just overcome because of the heat. Let's see here. Power outages. My daughter. They say Brooklyn, but my daughter had talked to me. She didn't mention them. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Oh no, see? Okay. Hundreds of weight loss and diabetes jab users have reported problems with their pancreas, with some cases proving fatal. Data from the medicines regulator shows that since the drugs were licensed, there have been hundreds of cases of acute and chronic pancreatitis among people taking GLP-1 medicines, the group of drugs that include Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. The cases are not confirmed as being caused by the medicines, but the person who reported them suspected they may be. Health officials are now launching a new study into the potential side effects and are urging users who experience pancreas problems to take part. Recent estimates suggest that 1.5 million people in the UK are taking weight loss jabs. According to figures from Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, there have been 181 reported cases of acute and chronic pancreatitis linked to the tirzepatide, the active ingredient for Mounjaro. 5 people died. There are 113 cases of acute and chronic pancreatitis linked to the semaglutide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and Wegovy, with 1 reported death. Another 116 reported reactions of this kind linked to liraglutide, 1 of which was fatal. Figures also showed 101 reported similar reactions to exenatide, which 3 people died from. There were also 52 reported reactions linked to dulaglutide and 11 reported reactions linked to lixisenatide. No fatalities were linked to either of those drugs. So, and then I also heard that you got to be careful that what is that one? There's another one that found in that something about thyroid nodules and do you say? Hold on now, I'm trying to get over here. It keeps doing that. Small towns. Trying to see something. Hoarding is on the rise. Let's see what else we have. They say that a Jesus apparition appeared in the clouds after Mass at the Basilica in the Philippines. Wow, it really does look like Jesus, doesn't it? Hold on a minute. Let's see if I can get a picture. Catholic devotees were stunned with the apparition of Jesus in the clouds following a Mass. Footage shows worshippers singing praise songs in an open field near the Basilica Minore of Our Lady of Peñafrancia in Naga City in the Philippines. Let me see if I can get a picture of that. Let me see. No, I want to see a picture, not a video. A picture. Yes, here we go. Come on. Come on, my goodness. Oh my goodness, would you please move yourself here? It's pretty neat, huh? Okay, where are you guys? Try murder of crows. People are risking their lives to lose weight fast. Crazy. I know murder of crows. I'm telling you, it's like, I think people are just, they're looking just for, the easy way and whatnot. And yeah, I agree. There's, maybe people that really are morbidly obese, or they're having really bad heart issues and they need that, and maybe they're unable to exercise at the weight they are, and they need to take off some weight and then start on some plan, or there's something. But you're not seeing that. You're seeing now a lot of people maybe with 10 or 20 extra pounds trying to get that type of medication and just saying like, oh, I know somebody, she's losing weight like crazy. She doesn't do anything anymore. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about anything. You're just putting these shots in yourself. So, I mean, it's like, you saw it with Fen years ago. There are no magic pills. There are no magic pills. And it's funny how, right, you see a lot of people that are scared, that they show more caution about a vaccine or something, or they'll look, oh, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to do this. But when it comes to weight loss, okay, because most people are always trying to look better, to get in shape. And let's face it, I mean, somebody asked me when I got my spin bike, is it fun? And I said, it's exciting. You get to go on different things. But when you say fun, well, you feel great when you get off of it, but it's hard freaking work, okay? And you have to push yourself to do it. So it's not like it's fun that there's always got to be some kind of work put in to get to some kind of goal that you want to get to. And so I'm skeptical of anyone that's just like, oh, look, you just, remember they even had like little things. I remember somebody showed me she had these things you put behind your ear. Oh, you put these things behind your ear and you just lose weight magically, you know? It doesn't work that way. And if something is just so easy, and what I'm seeing is like, I'm scared. I think we're going to see all of these people just go and take this. Like I said, people that don't need to, people that can easily get on a bike or take some walks, cut out some sugar, try to eat a little better and lose that 10, 20, 30 pounds on their own. Because what's happening is like, I also hear people say, oh, you don't have to change your lifestyle at all. You can eat whatever you want because you're just going to eat smaller amounts. But I actually saw something the other day, and there's like Reddit groups on this, and the people are so paranoid to come off of it because when they come off of it, they're starting to gain weight. So then they want to keep taking it because they haven't learned how to make the right changes. And plus, what's happening, and a lot of them say they're not eating, okay? So great at suppressing their appetite to the point that they're not eating, but that also means their body is not getting the nutrients, it's not getting the stuff that it needs. Now you've got the pancreatitis, there's stuff with intestines, the thing about the thyroid and the nodules, it's scary. Victoria says, I'm too scared to use it. There's no easy way. It's a lifestyle. Exactly, Victoria. It's a lifestyle. And the more you exercise, it is like fun. Like the hardest part, of course, is getting started, right? But then you walk 1 mile and then your stamina goes up. You walk 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, right? And then you start to feel like really good. And then you've got this stamina. Maybe you take it a little further. Some people, oh, let's climb, go hiking or climb, and you just feel better. It's like, then you can actually get like the endorphins and everything. You want to do more. Yeah, you're working out, but it's, you get pumped up with it, It was funny tonight. We got a bunch of balloons for Ethan's graduation party, the helium ones, right? Mylars, right? So I had a bunch, and they were in the back of the van. So I have to bring them to the other house. So that house is first when we go in. Again, they're about 200 feet from each other. So I said to Jimmy, stop here so I can get the balloons out of the van because I don't want to take a chance of them, going in. I don't want to leave them in the car overnight. So then he was so joking. He goes, I'm not going to stop. You can carry them down tomorrow, down to the house. So then he goes, that would be cool. You could go down, you could go skipping, holding all those balloons down to town and bring them over there. So he goes, in fact, I think I'm going to go skipping around the lake tomorrow. So then I said, I don't even know the last time I went skipping. I said, it's been so freaking long. So when I got the balloons out and we were going back into the car, the kids were in the car and I said to Jimmy, let's skip. Oh my gosh. So we're both skipping in front of the car, okay? And for a minute I was like, how do I do this again? And I'm like, I'm galloping. And then there's like no skipping. So then Luke comes flying. He's like, what are you guys doing? So then Luke started skipping. Yeah, skipping Murder of Crows. It was crazy. So then then Ethan gets out. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And then I'm like, we're doing skipping. Oh my gosh. If anyone saw us, but we don't, there's no one around. So we're skipping up and down the road. And then the kid said, Mom, I want you to do these burpees. And they're doing them on the road. I said, I'm not doing those on the road. But now the kid said, no, but you've got to do them because you never want to lose like your mobility, and that you should sit on the floor and practice getting up as fast as you can, go down, and then do these burpees. And so they've got me on a whole plan for this. But then what was the other thing they were doing? We were doing, and then the running. He's like, run as fast as you can. So then they're like, yeah, it was fast, but you could run faster. So I didn't even have my sneakers on, so it's amazing. But we're going to go skipping. Exactly. You forgot how to skip. I forgot how to skip. I'm telling you. Did you forget how to skip too? I'm serious. Think about it. What about hopscotch? Remember hopscotch? Where you go out and you make the little box with the numbers and you throw the rock? The scary thing about that is the herniated disc in my back. That one time, I don't know, I was like, it was a long time ago. It was Luke, and Luke was a baby. And I was trying to show, we had sidewalk chalk, and Ethan was like 2. And I was showing Ethan that, look, that we used to make these hopscotch boards. And then when I went to jump, I was having big problems with my discs at that time. And so when I jumped, they like did something on each other, and wow, I was in pain from that. But I did it tonight. I did the hopscotch tonight. Skipping is good too. I'd probably get tangled in the ropes. Oh, you mean skipping with a jump rope? Yes, skipping with a jump rope is good. Remember when you would do that on the playground as a kid, and 2 people would hold either end of the rope, and you'd have to jump in, and then teddy bear, turn around. Teddy bear, touch the ground. Teddy bear, come outside. What is it? Teddy bear. You remember that? You remember double dutch? And what was it? It's one jump, two little pulses, right? One jump, 2 little pulses. But then when you're doing double dutch, you're jumping to the left, jumping to the right, jumping to the left, jumping to the right. You used to love hopscotch, yeah. I know. See all that stuff? Skipping with a rope. We used to sing Jelly on a Plate, Wobble Wobble. Oh, really? See, we had the teddy bear one. Teddy bear, turn around. Teddy bear, go downstairs. Teddy bear. And the hula hoops. Oh my gosh, my daughter was a hula hoop master. I used to be able to do the hula hoop around my neck. Crazy. Around my neck. Of course, I could do it around my arms. I could do it around my waist, but not as good as my daughter. It could do it for literally hours. She was unbelievable. I'm going to see when she comes up. I'm going to see if she can still do that like that. And then I remember taking the hula hoops, and you throw it in front of you, but you twirl it. You throw it counterclockwise, and it rolls back to you. You like to jog. I used to jog on the treadmill. Yeah, when I walk around, if I walk around the lake, I will jog for a spurt, then walk, then jog, then walk, then jog, then walk, then jog, walk, jog. But I love riding my bike from right now through to the fall. But I still do walk too, and jog, and swim. I had my first swim yesterday. It was lovely. I couldn't do the hula hoop. It used to end up around my feet. Yeah, I unbelievably could do it on my neck. I don't think I can do it on my neck anymore. Don't think I can. But that's all good. Like, why do we want to lose that? Like, my kids are like, oh, you don't ever want to lose that. That's why they have me going on this thing. Because I'll tell you something. When I was a little kid, my mother's brother, he was, I think, maybe 2 years older than her, maybe 4 years older than her. I don't know how, but not that many years older than her. And I was the last of my mother. So my mother had me at 2 weeks shy of 44. So my mother swam all the time. My mother swam. I saw my mother ride bikes, stuff like that. But I never saw my mother go running off the dock and jumping into the water. So, and my mother sailed a catamaran and all that stuff. But I never saw her do that. So, I don't know. I think I was like 6 or 8 years old. And I don't know why this is like the first time. It's the first time I paid attention. Her brother goes flying right off our dock. And it was at that moment, as a little kid, see, I've never forgotten this. I said, you know what? I don't ever want to not do that. Like, I don't ever want to not do that. So I said I was never going to stop doing that. I wasn't going to be like one of these little, I'll walk in. I have to walk in because, so I would say that even if I went somewhere and I waited in, that I would make sure that I was jumping off that dock every year so I wouldn't lose the ability to do that, and diving. And knock on wood, I have done that consistently. So that is something that all of my kids know, all of my kids see me do, and hopefully my grandkids will too. Because I think when I look at the people that I grew up with around here, who played elastics? What do you mean? You mean the Chinese jump rope? They used to call them Chinese jump rope? Never really knew how to do that. We all got one. They were always party favors at things. The Chinese jump ropes, the jacks. But I don't know. Is that what you're talking about with elastics? I don't know what elastics are. But I would just find like ourselves, like I said to my cousin, and he's 10 years older than me, but I said, as I looked around our friends, like again, these houses didn't get sold. They're just with the people we grew up with. So I said, well, now we're our parents' ages, but it seems like we're like way, way, way more active and like doing way more stuff, like stand-up paddle boarding and a lot more hiking and climbing and, then, and he says, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, swimming is good. Swimming is good. And it's so refreshing, right? It's so nice. But, yeah. So tomorrow, I want to power wash the deck down there. If somebody would be so kind and bring the power washer down there for me, because Jimmy's using my vehicle and then he's got to bring it in for service because he's got to have a little thing repaired in his. So if not, you know what I'm going to do? I just figured it out. I'll just put the darn thing in the beach wagon I have and I'll roll it down there and I'll skip rolling the wagon. I'll skip all the way down. Right? The mother of ingenuity. I will skip all the way down there. So I want to get the deck cleaned. I've got all the graduation decorations and everything. My daughter's going to be coming in Friday morning, I think so, or late Thursday night, but I think it's going to be Friday morning. And then we had a lovely Bachelorette at the church tonight. That was really nice, very nice. And then so I'm going to do the power washing tomorrow. And get the, oh, I've got to bake the cake. I've got to bake the cake. Gosh, I got to bake the cake tomorrow. She's got to bake the cake tomorrow. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to bring my KitchenAid. I think I'm going to bring my pans, my stuff. I am going to go down to the other house tomorrow. I'm going to be, maybe I'll go on live. Remember the time I was sewing down there and I was just live? Yeah, I think I'm going to bring my featherweight down there. I'm going to go and power wash. Then I can swim, bake the cake, and maybe do a little sewing. And I can go live during that and show you guys what I'm doing. That would be fun. And keep me accountable, right? How far are you on that deck, Carolyn? How far are you with the cake, Carolyn? I'll skip all the way, Murder of Crows. There's what's Carolyn doing? She's skipping down the street. Hey, thank you, Murder of Crows. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. That's very nice. Thank you so much. I'm skipping down the road. Much appreciated, much appreciated. And then, so Monday is June 30th, right? Tuesday is July 1st. Okay, so I think I misspoke during the last live. I'll have to burn that up. Have to burn that live up. Remember that lady that came on and said I had to get rid of the live if I made a mistake, and we made a mistake about like the address of something even though we corrected it. Oh, you know what? That would be a fun one to revisit. But Scooter was saying, try skipping. I'm going to try some more skipping. I'm going to put on my Hokas and try it. Because I had we had gone to the church, so I had these like flats on. It's not good for skipping. It's kind of like Evie and I with the tap dancing, and I'm going to find my tap shoes. They're upstairs somewhere. Evie found her tap shoes, and I said we could have a whole thing. You know what I actually did the other day, and it was really fun, was on TikTok. They had this lady. What song was it? She had a bunch of people. She said she was like next to a doctor's office, and they were sponsoring the class or something. And what was the song she was dancing to? Trying to think. I saved her TikTok. What song was it? It was fun. I danced to like 3 songs with them. You know? And see, everybody said that here. Oh, I want to do yoga and I want to do this dance. And we really should get it together for members and stuff. But I do walk on Zooms. If you come on Zooms, I'll walk while I'm on there a lot of times. When I walk, I've even ridden my bike with that. Sometimes the wind noise, usually if I have it in its holder, it doesn't have the wind noise. But I've ridden while talking on the Zoom many times. I haven't swam. I don't think I've ever swam on the Zoom. I've swam with a GoPro, and I've swam, but I don't think I've swam on. I've swam with the Zoom on the dock, but I wasn't holding it while I was swimming. I can't dance. It's not that hard though, Murder of Crows. Like she does things. It's more like exercising and like step to the right. Yeah. Step to the left. Two to the left. 2 to the right. Like it's that kind of thing. Now tap your feet. Yeah. And then now bring it down. It wasn't anything hard, but you just kept moving. You kept moving. And it's good. But really, like when Jimmy said skipping, like I remember myself skipping, but I'm like, crap, I think I forgot how to skip. And then I'm like, I'm galloping. And then the kids are like, are we galloping? Oh my gosh. We laughed so freaking hard. Jimmy and I we were hysterical because the kids didn't know what the hell was happening. Because it was dark and the headlights were on. And it is good cardio. And they just saw, like, there must be like, what the heck are mom and dad doing? They're skipping down the road. Oh my gosh. And then they just got out and they were running and skipping and, oh my gosh, galloping and prancing. Oh, yeah. It was fun. It was fun, and we had a fun night. It was really a very beautiful service. I have to say it. I videoed some of it, and when they came out and went to it was beautiful. Like I have never had that with my 3 other kids. No one's ever arranged that, and it was just so nice to see. Like the kids, they were not all, one denomination or another. That that's what this one preacher said. He said, I can tell you about Jesus. You might be sitting there and saying, "Hey, well, I'm Jewish," what? But they had spiritual leaders for, all different faiths there at the Catholic Church, and they even, like I said, they quoted Bob Dylan, and then there was a really nice senior prayer that one of the boys, and I know these boys, my kids play basketball with them. I know their mothers, the mother of the one that was there, she's the school nurse. Our school and our community is still very tight-knit, and very, people know each other. I mean, really know each other, and it's very nice. And I love that my kids have that, and they really have really, really good kids. I mean, really upstanding kids. When you talk about bullying and all this crap that goes on, they really have really, really good friends that they've been friends with, since preschool, most of them. And most of them are scholars and athletes that they're with. And it was just beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, because you think, like, wait, they have this spirituality, and the boys are to the age that, like, some of them, I say to my son, some of them you can clearly see them as 40-year-old men. You know what I'm saying? Like this one that plays golf and stuff. He's on the golf team, and he's got, you could just, he's got the girl. He's just like old before his time, but not that he looks old, but I mean mature before his time. Like he even sees this, how did I do? Did I do okay? Oh, everybody take care. I'll see. Like, he's just very, very, very personable. And I said to my kids, you can see easily what he's going to look like when he's 40 years old. It's easy to see. But they're very, very good kids. So it was a beautiful experience. I wish all my kids had had that. That something that was never arranged. Victoria, I'm going to skip round my garden, my neighborhood, and then and my neighbors will think I've gone crazy, right? Will you be like, skipping my way to better health, right? What if we did a skip to my loo? I started skipping to my loo. Isn't that funny? Because you guys call your bathroom the loo, right? That is so funny. Wait a minute. That can't be what that song is about when they say skip to my loo, my darling. That's not to the bathroom, right? No, because what is that? Skip to my loo, my darling. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. What is the other words to that? Skip to my loo, my darling. Left foot, right foot. What do I know? It's something like that, right? Is that what that's about? That would be funny. No, it's not, right? It's not about skipping to the loo. But imagine that would be a good thing, right? Excuse me a moment. I just have to skip to the loo. That would be funny. Does anybody say that? I started skipping to the loo. Then I started skipping to the kitchen. Then I was skipping all around my house. I was skipping in the garden. I was skipping when I went to the mailbox. I was skipping in the grocery store. And before I knew it, I had lost 10 pounds skipping. I'm skipping my way to better health. That would be funny. And you know what? You know when the people ride the, what you call the trolley or the shopping cart? Jimmy always does that. He never stops doing that. I'll watch people look at him in the parking lot because he rides that thing. You know what I mean? He runs with it and then he jumps on and rides that cart all the way to the car. And that's good. I mean, really. Right? Jimmy does a lot of stuff. He still climbs trees. He does front flips off the dock. Like, he still does all that stuff. And I don't ever want to see him, I can't even imagine where he would be like, oh, I can't do that. That you're not going to hear that from Jimmy. He just pushes and pushes and pushes and wants to stay really active and really agile. And knock on wood, he'll be like that for a long time, I hope. You do say skip to the loo? You're a soccer mom. I met so many people. I know, right? See, that's what somebody said tonight, Victoria, because we were all soccer moms and we all had them in baseball. But you know what's so funny? I, myself, was thinking at the same thing. Like, I was thinking, it's so weird. I was thinking of them as 4-year-olds on the soccer field together, and now they're graduating high school, and how it went like that. I was focused on the 4-year-olds, and this friends of ours, he's the music teacher at the school, his wife, I know, but our kids have been in soccer, so I knew them from the time that Ethan was 4 and Luke was 2, and their son is named Ethan, and they have a son that was the same age as Luke, so they had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So he came over to me and he goes like this, can you even believe where we are? Can you even believe this? He goes, do you just remember? I said, yeah, remember them on the soccer field as 4-year-olds? And when I tell you this, I can remember that so freaking vividly, so vividly. Like, I can remember even like when somebody was having a tantrum or something, and him and I talking as if it was yesterday. And yet, here we are, it's 14 years later. And he said, isn't that crazy? I said, yes. It is the blink of an eye. You don't believe it. Like when you have a baby and whatever, it's hard and somebody says, oh, just enjoy it. It goes so fast. You never think at that point it's going to go so fast, right? You don't. And you don't know how it does, but it just does. But I'll tell you, with every kid I've had, it's gone so much faster. And I think, like now, I don't know, with why it just seems so fast now. Like with my daughter, when she was graduating, like, yes, it was fast, but I think there was like so much other life going on. My mother had just died, and it was like so much stuff that was focusing on. And then the next year I lost my father, and then it just, I don't know. So now it's like, it's just so profound for me. But it's profound for these people too. Maybe it's just, I did have that then. I'm just not remembering it as clearly because this is happening right now. And you're probably like, Carolyn, what are you talking about? But yeah. It's just so profound. And it's like he said, I'm thinking of the 4-year-old. And he's like, yeah, me too. He's like, but then when I think about it, it was really like in the last 3 years that these kids just got, had just grown so much and so much changed, like in the last 3 years, literally from like 15 to 18, it just changes so much, right? It's just crazy. What are you doing? You have Aussie slang is Dunny or loo. Okay. Okay, so because I wanted to get a little sign for, you know how people call it the water closet, but in my master bathroom we have a little room that just has the toilet in there, and I want to get one of those little signs that just on the door that says the loo or WC, not the loo, WC. I want to put on it, water closet. Water closet. What did you say? The last 15 years have been a blur to me. I know, right? What the freak? What the freak, really? It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. I don't know. Like my sister used to say, she used to say, I know time's going fast, but think back 20 years, and that's a lot of time. Well, my mother's been gone 20 years. So I would say, okay, when she first told me this, my mother was gone maybe 10 years, right? So she would say, see, you think time is going so fast, but think back 20 years. And I'd say, oh yeah, mom hasn't even been gone 20 years. And now you would use that as my gauge. Well, this year my mother's been gone 20 years. And my father's been gone 19 years. So now that 20 years saying there's so much time. So when you think like, you have another 20 years, it's like the blink of an eye. You know, it's the blink of an eye. And sometimes you say, okay, well, I did a lot in those 20 years. But it seemed like you did so much more, like before that 20 years, like when I used that gauge, well, my mother hasn't even been gone 20 years, and look how much has happened. But then as it's gone to my mother being gone 20 years, now it seems like it's that I can't use that gauge my sister gave me. You feel like I went to sleep at 40 and woke up at 55. Yeah, yes. I hear you. I hear you, Murder of Crows. I don't know. We got to make the most of every single day. We really do. That's why I don't understand, you know, those people that waste their lives where I live in their head and all they think about is me. It's just ridiculous. They're wasting their life, you know, and it's just hating on me. Just talking about me constantly, watching everything I do, not because they like me, but because they hate me. What the hell are you wasting your life like that? Because your life is going to be over. All of our lives are going to be over. And what did you do with yours? You know? Gosh, enjoy your families. If you don't have families, if you're miserable, go out and make a better life. They have no life. It's sad. It really is, Murder of Crows, that you sit around for years, every day, talking about somebody you allegedly hate with a passion, but you watch every single thing I do. That's not mentally okay. That's really not mentally okay. You want to hear the funniest thing? Okay, you know that song? I get knocked down, I get up again. Da 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 da. Okay. When you get knocked down, what do you tell your kid? When you get knocked down, when you fall off a horse, what do you do? Well, I've learned this since I was a kid. When I used to ride a horse, my riding teacher said if you fall off, you get right back on that horse. And we did. Okay? My father, when we were learning to ride a bike, we'd fall off the bike. We're not going to go run away scared. We're going to get right back on that bike and ride. Do you know when I fell off my bike, hit my head on the curb, and I was unconscious? When I came to, my father put me on the bike and I rode home. I didn't even know. Okay, I didn't have any memory of this. I woke up in a recliner with my parents on the phone with the pediatrician. And my father saying she fell, hit her head. It looked like she was out for a minute. I tried her to get back on the bike. She got back on the bike and rode home, which was just down the street, right? And they called the pediatrician. But I had no memory. The last memory I had was my dad outside having iced coffee, and I would say, Daddy, Daddy, please, let's go to the cul-de-sac, because right where you ride around in that circle, right? Because I had just learned how to ride, the two-wheeler. And let me ride the bike. So we would ride there, and I was going around and around and around the cul-de-sac. That's all I remember. And I guess I wiped out, hit the cement curb, was knocked out. My father got me on. I didn't remember anything. I didn't remember getting up off the ground. I didn't remember getting on the bike. Okay? If you don't like somebody, you walk away and you forget them. Why would you sit there and talk about somebody you don't like? It's a problem. But listen, when your kid gets knocked down, just like somebody says, you have a setback. If you have a setback in a business, you don't give up your business. You may have to set your sails. Like your sails, like a sailboat, right? You may have to adjust that. You may have to tweak something. But if you work for something, you don't give it up. Okay? You think about how you could change something or make it better or make it different. Or someone knocks you down, you get up. You don't tell your kid, oh, somebody knocks you down, just stay down on the ground. Don't you dare get up. Stay down. Well, the most stupid thing I saw was given today. Listen to this one. One of these people that cannot stop obsessing over me said, Carolyn says, if she gets knocked down, she gets up again. And that even if we knock her down, she's going to keep getting up again. Isn't that the definition of insanity? They said, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And then about 10 of them said, yes, ma'am. Yes, she's so stupid. She's so stupid. What the hell would I stay down? Why would I stay down? I mean, are they that stupid? Or are they... See, this is the point where I can't figure out if they're really that stupid and clueless, or they're trying to convince me to stay down. Do you know what I mean? How would you even put that as the core? It's not anything like when you're saying doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity. What's the alternative? These people must have no backbone, no resolve. You get knocked down, you stay down. You get knocked down, you pick yourself up, you brush yourself off, and you keep going one foot in front of the other. Until you're breathing, you keep going. That's what they don't understand. Life is short. It's not a dress rehearsal. You got to keep going. It's unbelievable. I was flabbergasted, and I was flabbergasted by people who responded to that with, yep, right, yes, ma'am. I'm just like, this is scary that these people are out there and in the health field and this and that. And you've got to be kidding me. Are you mothers? Are you grandmothers? Do you tell your kids when you get knocked down, stay down? It's crazy. Oh my gosh, they're the stupid ones. They need to take a step back and look at themselves. They want you to give up your channel. And for what? That's what they want, Murder of Crows. They can't understand, and I've said it. They don't know me. They claim to know me. They don't know my level of resolve. If I give up this channel, it will be because it's my decision to give up this channel. Mine. Do you know, I like Eminem, and there's an Eminem song. And to me, that Eminem song is everything. And it's, if they would just understand this, they're not going to tell me because they want me off the internet. Who the hell are they? They're nobody. They're nobody I would take advice from. I love when they say, well, she just listened to me. What the hell would I listen to you for? You have a successful channel? No. Do you have anything that I'd want? No. Why would I take advice from you? I won't. Okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. But to even think that you're going to have the power to like get someone off the edge, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But they're going to, but it's just for their own, they have nothing else to focus on. It's scary, but I want to get this one. Okay, I think this is the one. Let me get the lyrics on this one. See. I just want to see. Yes, this is the one, okay? And what he says here, it says, it's about them telling him, you're not going to make it anymore, you're over, you're done, you're finished, right? And, he says, am I lucky to be around this long? Begs the question, though, especially after the methadone. As yesterday fades and the Dresden home is burned to the ground and all that's left of my house is lawn, the crowds are gone and it's time to wash out the blonde. Sales decline, the curtains drawn. They're closing the set. I'm still poking my head out from behind, and everyone who has doubt, remind. Okay, so everything's going, they're saying everything's closing down for him, but now he says, now take your best rhyme, outdo it, now do it 1,000 times. Now let him tell you the world no longer cares or gives an F about your rhymes. And as I grow out of sight, out of mind, I might go out of mine. 'Cause do I ever let this mic go without a fight when I made an effing tightrope out of twine? But when I do fall from these heights, though, I'll be fine. I won't pout or cry or spiral down or whine, but I'll decide if it's my final bow this time. Okay? And that's exactly what I say. You're not going to tell me what the hell I'm going to do. You're nothing. And that is just very empowering to me because they are just nuts. And if I want to, I know they're nothing. They're nothing. But I don't know what they think they are. I don't know what they think they are. They think they are going to tell me what I'm going to do. And they're not. And it kills them that I say, I'm going to keep getting up. Okay? I don't know. They've tried to attack me in every way they can. They spread rumors, they spread lies, they go after my son. They've done everything they could. They've tried to tarnish his name. You can't shine his shoes. So just cool it. And they think they're going to knock me down further than when my son died? That's being knocked down. And my son would never want me to stay down. And it's because of him I rise. Because life is precious. and I'll be his voice, and they will never tell his story. And that biatch that says she told my son's story, you didn't tell anything about my son because you lied. And God knows that you know nothing. You're a con woman. That's who you are. You're a con woman with your lies, and you've proved it today. With your own rope, you've hung yourself. Yeah. Oh, I've got my chin up, Victoria. I really do. I really do. And I know once this is behind me, once all of this crap is behind me, I'm excited to go to trial. Okay? My lawyer told me today, let's go. Let's go. You have the truth. It's there. I tell my everything to these people. I'm not scared. They want you to think I'm scared. I'm not scared. After all this time, I want to let them know. It's just crazy. They have no insight to themselves, no self-awareness. Yes, even though when they call themselves the self-aware one, there's somebody that calls himself the self-aware one or something. She's the least self-aware person I've ever known. And when it's not you, then they'll go after someone else. They are miserable people. They have no right to tell you what to do. You're doing great. Thank you, Victoria. And I appreciate everybody that's here for me. I do. And the thing they don't understand, if it was 2 people and I still wanted to do this, I'd still do it for those 2 people. Do you know that? That's what they don't freaking understand. They don't get it. They don't get it. They just don't get it. They have no right to tell you. No. No, let's do word cookies. Let's do word cookies. Tomorrow we're going to do cake baking, deck washing. What is the other thing I'm supposed to be doing? Deck washing, cake baking, skipping. We're going to do some skipping. And maybe some sewing. Maybe some sewing. Aw, thank you, Murder of Crows. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate you all. I really do. And I hope that I can, help you guys. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, you've got me through a lonely night or it's lonely. If I could do something for somebody, I can. If I can have the auctions for people to make some money and give back that way, I want to do that. I just, there's a lot of future plans I have, and you just don't realize like how much this stupidity of a trial, I mean, this whole thing is just, well, you know what it is, right? It shouldn't even be. But again, something designed to stop me. And once that this is over, all of that energy is going to get, I have a lot of really, really big ideas. And I always have. You guys know that. I always have. I always want to keep pushing, doing different things, having fun, helping people, and I've been helped so much with people that like people I met, Sandy, Rosemary, you guys, everybody's helped me through some of the darkest times. They've given me something to focus on when, if I didn't have it, who knows? I honestly do believe this everything here was set up and orchestrated for that purpose. And that's when my blog went, the server that got me onto YouTube, like everything that happened was so systematic. And I really do believe that. Yeah, it is ridiculous. But, it'll be good. It'll be good. I know truth will prevail. I know it will. I know the jurors will see exactly what they need to see. They need to see the truth. Did we do? Oh, there's no 3-letter words. We did kiss. Oh, look at that, Suze. Oh, how about husk? Husk, right? Husk. That reminds me of corn. Corn is, I wonder if they're having corn. What do we have? Oh, wait, what about shoe? No. Shul. No, they don't have an L. What do you got there? Skis. Right? Because, no. What are we doing? Skis, yeah. But then, wait a minute. Do skies? Yes, skies. Skies. Oh, she's. Did I just do the contraction? No. Oh, shies. They don't let us do contractions, right? But they no, they don't let us do contractions. Did we do hike? Nope, we didn't do hike, but we can do hikes. Uh-oh. I hate when my thing does that. Okay, now wait a minute. Which one didn't we do? We can't do, yes, we can do husks. We have 2 S's, right? Okay, we did cues. Oh, can't, wait, hisses. No, we can't do hisses. Okay. Sushi? Sushi, got it. Okay, what else you got there? What else do you have there? Thank you, Victoria. That you're glad I'm here. I'm glad you found us, Victoria. Let me see. Oh wait, you use this. Got that, right? What else do we have? H-I-J-K. Oh, shush. Oh no, we can't. Wait a minute, did I read that right? There's only one H, so let me see. How about no? How about no? Uses we have. We did hikes. We did hike and hikes, right? Yeah. Okay. How about we did husky? Huskies. There we can't do. did issue. Wait a minute. We didn't do issues, right? Oh no, we can't do issues. We don't have another S. Okay. Remember those cushy things? They were like, were they like silicone, almost like pom-poms, and they had faces on them? Is that right? Those cushy things, were they on the top of pens? Tell me what we've got here. What do we have? Murder of Crows. This is getting... Okay, let's see. Yeah, I thought about... No. No. Only one H, right? All right, let's see. Where'd Murder of Crows go? Go get the dictionary? Let's see. Where'd you go, Murder of Crows? Did you skip to the loo? I think Murder of Crows went skipping to the loo. Or skipping to the dictionary. Should we do this? Look at this wand. It's special. I don't know why it's got two wands. Oh, we got all that. Look at that. Chic. I get knocked down. Oh, your shopping is here. No problem. I thought you were at the dictionary. Don't worry about it. You take care of your shopping. You take care of it. Oh. Ring. Earn. Fig. Did we do? We did fig. We did fig. Yeah. Okay, so it's got to be a G. But we did gin. Yeah. Oh, a gig. You got a gig in the city? Take the rig. Ring, rung. Ruin. Okay, and then what do you have? Fungi? Fungi, fungi. Perfect. And then what did you get for the other one? Your back? Okay. Figuring. You've got some figuring to do. Yeah, that's good. Figuring murder of crows. Very good. Blueberry. Canopy. Is that a canopy? Could that be? Canopy? Oh, it's an extra word. Okay. A cake, which I have to make tomorrow. An ape wearing a cape, baking a cake in the nape of his neck. Took a nap with a cap. At the peak, he wanted to pack. It was an ace. In the can. Get the cake pan. Look at that. See? It knows I'm making a cake. It needs me to skip down with the cake pan. But, oh my gosh, there's no cake pan. That's not right. There should be a cake pan, but it's not one word. Okay, so did we get pan? We got cake? Got a cake pan. Get a pen. All right. Oh, get some peas. Don't put them in the cake, though. That would be yuckies. Okay. And this is a C-A. C-A. Cane. Then a N. An N. Let's see. We did a nape. We did pack. What do you guys got? You got a peck up. I love you, a bushel and a peck. Oh, and a hug around the neck, right? Look at that. This is a fun one. Let's see what else you got. Pain. Very good. Let's see. Pancake. Ah, look at that, murder of crows. When you have a cake pan, make it a pancake. See? Make it a pancake. Now I'm going to remember that. Cake pan is a pancake. Very good. Pancake. That's very good. Keep your pace. Very good. Okay. What else did you guys get? Yeah, I had a cake pan. You had a pancake. Turn your cake pans into... That would be good. Like, you know, how does something go viral, right? Like, so, especially without the internet, like I was saying. But now, like, why can't we make a saying viral, right? Turn your cake pan into a pancake. When you're given a... Come on. Only people that play word cookies would know that. Stop being ridiculous. Pecan. Pecan. Okay, and then we've got... Do you play this game, Murder Crows at Your Own? Do you play this one? P... Let me see. What is that? Peace. Very good. Next. Oh wow. Pile. Vial. Oh, lineup. How about lineup? Nope. Upline? Oh, how about live? Hold on a minute. Live. Liven. Let's see what you guys got. You guys got lineup? Did I do lineup? I did. It was an extra word. Okay. Unwell. Okay. I didn't have that. No, we can't do that. That's a V. Vulpine. Very good. What else you got? Live. You got live, right? Yeah. Unwell. No, can't do that. Evil. Look at that. Evil and vile. Okay. Lupine. Very good. Venue. No, there's only one. Good try. Good try, but it's only one. Upline. I tried that, Debbie. Up. I don't know if that. Yeah, didn't do it. Unveil. Very good. Okay. Nip. Right. Now let me see. Oh, lip. Okay. Now let's see. Pun. So, vi. Hold on a minute. Vi. Right. Okay. Now we've got an L word. L-I. We know it has to be L-I. It has to be an N or above enough, but okay. L-I... L-I... L-I-E-U. Yes, in lieu. In lieu of that $1,000. Okay. All right, now let's see what else. Oh boy, let's see. N. P. E. How about a jeweler's loop? No. Okay. No, I can't do that. What am I doing? I can't do that. P-E-I-N. Good try. Okay, let's see. LeAnn. Okay, very good. Hey, cork. Cork. Rook. Uh-oh. Cook. Cover. Okay. No. Cove. See what else we got. Did we do Rove? The roving reporter. Okay. V-O-E-K. What time is it, guys? Wow, it's almost 4 in the morning. Over. Oh, how about a cooker? Okay, guys. I think I'm going to go to bed, but I really will come on tomorrow. Look for me. Skipping, baking cakes, power washing, maybe some sewing. All right? Rock? Okay, rock. We'll do. Love you guys. God bless. Prayers. Be good. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. And thank you, Murder of Crows. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it very much. Have a good night, everybody. Be good. See you tomorrow. God bless you guys. Prayers for all that need them, and we'll see you tomorrow. Jane, how do I get off this crazy thing? Hold on, I've got to find the right one to let us out of here. Had fun tonight with you guys. Let's see, that's the sale. I guess that's not going to be good. Hold on. Hold the phone, guys. Let me go to the Streamlabs and do this.